Vipers Voices at the end of the Vipers' 8th match of this DP World ILT 20. It's a match in Abu Dhabi against MI Emirates, and it's ended in defeat. MI Emirates winning by 30 runs, scoring an impressive 188 for 5, and the Vipers replying with 158 for 8. And I've got debutant Nathan Sowter alongside me. Nathan, thanks so much for being with us. Now, the first question I have to ask you is, when did you find out you were playing?
This morning actually at breakfast, Fozzie gave me a text, said I was eating an omelette at the time, and he come and found me and said, "Go well, you're in," pretty much. So yeah, it was pretty exciting. I've been chomping at the bit to get an opportunity to have a crack in this tournament. So yeah, it was nice to be out there tonight. Shame that we lost.
And the good news was, of course, when you were presented with your cap before play, you had it presented by Wanindu Hasaranga. What's it been like to be around him and involved with him and the other leg spinners, of course, in the squad? There's been Kartik Mayappan, Shadab Khan, of course. It must be fantastic from your point of view to be around all these players.
Yeah, it's absolutely exciting to obviously get your hat off when it was quite a cool moment. Like, you come to this tournament and you see the players that are in our squad, so to get it off him is quite a nice little touch. So yeah, but yeah, the other boys you mentioned there, it's been awesome to work with them too. There's so much information we can share for each other, and hopefully, like, we might see some of that later in the tournament if Kartik gets an opportunity as well. So yeah, we've been learning a lot of Crowe as well, with having lots of chats around what we see from Hasaranga and Shadab and how we go about our business. So yeah, it's exciting to work with people like that, because you don't always get that.
And of course, as you mentioned, Carl Crowe, it's not often you get a specialist spin bowling coach either, so that must be terrific as well.
Yeah, that's unreal. It's awesome. I can't remember a time in my career other than when we had Daniel Vittoria at Middlesex as head coach, where I got to spend a bit of time with him working on my bowling and stuff like that. But to have someone like Crowe as well, he's been around, worked with some of the best bowlers in the world, so just to get his insights, and it's really good.
Just tell us about the surface for today's game. There was a howling gale blowing across the ground for most of it, and I just wonder whether the surface was quite dry. Rohan Mustafa bowled today, and he hasn't bowled that often in the tournament. Yeah. You bowled, Hasaranga bowled as well. I just wonder whether there was a little bit on offer for you guys.
Yeah, there definitely was a little bit there. I think it just seemed like pace off was a little bit harder to hit, I thought, tonight. And I think we try to utilise that. With obviously me coming in, we could bowl Hass a little bit deeper than we used Ronnie at the time. But yeah, I think you've seen with their spinners as well. They held, when you bowled a nice length, it was really hard to hit. But if you missed, I think Hass and I missed a couple of times, and we got punished for that as well. So it was a good wicket. I thought at the end, I thought they could have been 10 light if we batted well. But it wasn't to be. We didn't get off to the greatest start. When you lose, I think it might have been 4 in the power play. So it's tough chasing any score, let alone 180 plus.
And of course, you bowled in the power play. You bowled the 6th over. Is that something you're used to doing, bowling in the power play?
I probably could count on my hands how many times I bowled in the power play. But yeah, it's something that I did a little bit in the 100 last year. Tom come to me in the 100 last year and said, "Oh, do you mind giving it a go? We got a thought that it could work." It's something I haven't done a lot, so it's still a bit of a learning curve, trying to get your fields right, and then just backing your lengths and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm happy to do any job. I'll bat opener if they want me to do. I'll bowl the last over, I'll bowl the first over. I just want to get involved, so it's never a problem.
Tell us about your wicket. You had a wicket in your first over.
Yeah, I just got hit for 4 the ball 4 and just run down the wicket. So I just thought I'd try to go a little bit tighter, and he'd run a little bit wider, and he kind of just inside half chunked it, which was nice, and it was never getting over that boundary. 60k wind going that way. It was a good catch by Woody running it in. So yeah, it was just nice to make an impact early, and it settled me down quite quickly.
Yeah, you got Andre Fletcher out, but for most of the time during that innings, MI Emirates were quite canny. There was a left and right hand combination almost throughout. How difficult was that to bowl to and adjust your lines, adjust your lengths?
Yeah, it's quite hard because you had, like we said, that wind going one way, so left-hander, you couldn't get too straight to him. And I did maybe back into my spell and ended up on the hill. So yeah, it definitely is just trying to keep the ball tight, keep the stumps in play, just stuff like Hass has been speaking to me about, and Crowe, and that's how I kind of bowl as well. With like quite similar mentality, just keep the stumps in play. We've got a 50-50 chance, then and that's what we try to do, especially in the power play. It wasn't much bounce because I kind of go under the ball sometimes and try to skid it under people. So yeah, it's difficult, but you played enough cricket, you've done it enough times, so you just got to embrace it and go with it.
1 for 27 off the 4 overs that you bowled. How did you think you got on? Were you happy?
Yeah, you're pleased, but I think I look back at 4 balls in my spell, I went for 22 runs, so 20 balls went for, not many. So it's it could have been a lot better and it could have been a lot worse. So like I said, it was just nice to get out there and try to make a positive impact on the team. Just shame it wasn't our night tonight.
Nicholas Pooran, what an innings from him at the back end of the MI Emirates effort. 39 from 15 balls. He came in and went 6-6. Goodness me, that must be no fun at all to be in the field when that's happening.
No, it's quite daunting, to be fair, but obviously he's a very good player and that's what he's known for, and they kind of set the innings up perfectly for him to explode in that manner. But as well as that, some nights that goes straight up and then they only get 160 and we're right in the game tonight. So sometimes you've got to take your hat off to players like that and say, well played. I think we've had that a couple of times in this tournament where we've been on the back end of some very good batting as well, but we still want to get better and we still need to be smarter with what we do because we've got very good players in our team as well.
188 for 5 from MI Emirates. You mentioned you thought that might have been a little bit below par if everything went the Vipers' way.
Yeah, I just thought with that wind, we could have only really needed 10 good overs hitting with that wind, and you probably only need 8 and over if you can get 10 and over with the wind. So it just wasn't our night. They started the power play on fire. They took the game away from us within the first 6 overs, and it was a tall order to get back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. 45 for 6 at one stage, in which case that really is a fantastic fight back by Luke Wood and Ali Nasir at the back end, isn't it? They added, I think it was 73 in the best part of 5 or 6 overs. 7 overs. I think that really could be crucial in the final analysis in terms of protecting the Vipers' net run rate, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. They both played really well. Just gave us a chance going into these last 2 games that our net run rate won't be smashed out the ground, to put it in one way. But I think Ali played unbelievable to come out in that pressure and get what I think he might end up on 60, maybe
63.
63, yeah. So hats off to him, young fella in a pressure situation against a great team as well. So I think that showed our fighting spirit, and hopefully we can take that into the last couple of games because we could have easily rolled over and got our bellies tickled, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's been an intense schedule though, hasn't it? 6 games in 9 days. Now there's no game for 5 days. You must want to keep playing, given you've made an impact in your first game.
Yeah, but I think I was saying earlier to someone else, I think the team needs a little bit of a break. We need a reset. We need a couple of training days probably just to get the confidence back up. And we're not far away, but we're not close either, if that makes sense. So we need to really have a crack at these last 2 games. If we have that spirit the boys showed at the end, I think we can really still make a mark in this tournament.
Well, 2 games left. The Dubai Capitals in Dubai and then Sharjah Warriors in Sharjah. Do you think it's 2 must-win games now, or will 1 win be enough to get into the top 4?
Yeah, I think we have to win both. If we're going to be serious contenders in this competition, we've got to go these last 2 games and win both, and then let the rest of the table work itself out. And then we just got every game's a knockout game now. So even if we get through, we're not going to be. I don't think we're going to have the opportunity to finish in the top 2 to get that second bite of the cherry this year. So I think every game from here on in is a knockout. So hopefully we've still got 5 games to go in this tournament.
Well, let's hope so from a Vipers perspective. That's the news here from the Zayed Cricket Stadium in Abu Dhabi, with MI Emirates beating the Desert Vipers by 30 runs in the Vipers' 8th match of the tournament. And the Vipers are back in action on the 9th of February against the Dubai Capitals, and that's at the Dubai International Stadium.